AA battery. Good?
Good.
How's it going, guys? Andrew with Branson Cerakote and Applicator Hangout. So today I have Andrew with me. He just got done with the applicator training course, and we've got some amazing projects to show everyone. So Andrew, just kind of introduce yourself, tell us where you're from and everything, and then tell us about your projects you brought.
All right. Andrew Robinson from Salem, Utah. Brought my 300 win, my wife's 308.
This thing turned out freaking sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Here's his wife's gun. We did like a tattered flag underneath and then did like a fat cam over it. It turned out cool.
And we did her 380.
And this has just got the gun candy on.
Yeah. We did the black with the gun candy.
Yep.
We did her 9mm slide.
And just a tattered flag.
That turned out amazing. That's by far. Yeah, I'm excited. And then the Oakleys.
That's just got like the burnt bronze battleware with the tattered flag going through it. With some speckling on top. Those turned out nice too.
Turned out phenomenal.
Everything you did turned out great. I mean, I really liked all your projects. We tried some stuff that
Had a pretty
not
handy
a lot
coach.
of people's let us do. You know, I really like this one though. This was the last project that we got done, and I try to talk people into doing some stuff like this, and I haven't had anybody do it yet. And you were the first one to let me try it, and
Barely finished that bad boy up just now.
it looks good though. Yeah, it just came out of the oven about 15 minutes ago, and we hurried up and pulled all the stencils off to bring it in.
Excited about that bad boy.
Yeah, that'll be a good hunting rifle.
Yeah, will.
There's a stencil right there.
Did we miss one? There might be a few. We were in a hurry. We were scrambling. You were kind of a taskmaster this week.
All right, Andrew. So, why did you really want to get into Cerakote to begin with?
You know, hadn't thought much about it. I'd seen it. Wasn't really aware of how it happened or how it took place. And I had a buddy that wanted some guns painted, told me I should look into it as a kind of a side gig. And so we just started playing around with it. My wife looked into it. We got the real primitive bare minimum get by items to get started and start playing around with it. And she got really handy at painting. She got really kind of one-on-one aim basis with the guy at Cerakote and with John. Yeah, glad we found you guys. We were pretty limited on our I guess our mentors or whatever, people, you know, the hows and whys and wheres and whats of getting going with it and what you could and couldn't do, the parameters that we were being told
Right.
they were really restricting. You know, there was all these people saying you could and couldn't do this and, you know, should and shouldn't do this. And she got researching it a little more. I was driving trucks, so I was hauling transporting equipment for a construction company and pretty swamped regularly. And she just hit it full bore and found you guys.
She find us on YouTube?
She did. Yep, she did. She just come across one of your guys' videos.
Right.
And it was all downhill from there. She glommed onto you guys, started stalking you guys. It's more like obsessively shadowing. You know, we noticed how you moved around the furniture from the front yard, not from the windows, but no, she started watching a bunch, and then I'd get home from work and get the kids put to bed, and we'd sit down and just watch you guys, and it really opened up a lot. I mean, it took us from, you know, how are we gonna make this work? If, you know, how are they doing all this stuff?
Yeah.
And the more we started watching you guys, the more we realized the stuff we were doing was like, oh, that's cute. You just graduated from preschool. You know, it was wow. I mean, crayons in the lines. And it just blew up, you know, and she started playing around with stuff, and we kind of started experimenting, and then I got here, and you can't remember everything in 3 days.
It's a lot to
it
take in 3
is,
days.
but she's excited to come back in a few months and bring me with her and
Yeah, because we're gonna start we're gonna call it the applicators. What is it?
Advanced or something.
Yeah, but I forget the exact name. The
Can't remember what you
Applicator
call it.
Academy. We're gonna do an Applicator
Yeah.
Academy, and we're just gonna offer a few different classes within that.
Yes. So
So
yeah, we just started kind of trying to mimic what we'd seen you guys and a few others do, and it's kind of gone from just a side gig
trying to
to
go home and go full time.
yeah,
Are you still doing
it's
trucking?
little bit,
A little bit.
but nothing for the company I was. There's a friend of mine that has me do stuff here and there when I'm freed up and she's not pulling teeth. She can watch the boys and then I'll go
And you're doing this out of your house,
truck a little
correct?
bit. Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Till
Oh.
we get some things squared away and move into a place that has a shop out back that we're looking at, and we're gonna.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we tell everybody we started out in John and Laura's one-car garage, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knew that we were in a garage, even on our videos and everything else, and,
Yeah,
I mean, you just make it look like a shop.
we definitely look like homeless cave people in a down there in the basement. It's rough. It's pretty primitive,
Yeah.
but it's nothing preventing us from doing this kind of stuff. Just
No, that's the thing. I
a
mean,
little bit smaller scale for right now till we can get set up.
yeah, I feel like if you spray like this and you can do this here, and I mean, you did a great job. You'll be able to go back to, you'll have no problems. I mean, you should be able to replicate anything we've done here once you get back to your shop.
Well, I had a blast. Like I said, this has been the experience of a lifetime. It's been huge eye opener, and I don't know, might be taking too much time here, but anybody that's thinking about this or looking into this, my advice would be seek out someone like you guys.
Thank you.
That has been that was the pivotal, that just sent us over the edge. That was what turned it for us. I mean, we were getting so frustrated with how things were going and everything that it was just kind of like
It just takes the learning curve and just
Yeah.
kind of boosts you up there a little bit.
stay trucking and just play with it later if we decide we've got some more money later on or whatever. And then my wife just had to keep drilling me and talking me into it and drilling me. And, I wasn't built that way to just come home and be the guy that let her take care of the rest. And I hammer this out and try to make this work. But, we've got goals and, they start small, but seeking someone out like you guys that can get someone's footing.
Yeah.
All the Facebook and Instagram and everything else, it was just a chaotic nightmare trying to get all these people fighting with each other about who's right and who's wrong.
You get 5 people saying different things.
Who's smarter and who's dumber and who's, and it's, once we found you guys, all that went out the window, and you find what works. You find it might not be you guys, it might be someone else, whatever, but personalities or the way you guys do things click. But find that person is my advice. Find that company or that group and just mimic.
Yeah.
You just mimic everything, hang on every word, watch every episode, and become that yourself, or you're just kind of spitting in the wind. It's just
Right. I mean, there's a lot of people, that just do single colors or just do two tones. I mean, that's what you said. You did a lot of that in the beginning, but I mean, now that you kind of figured out, it's not much harder to do anything else. I mean,
honestly, this was funner.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time, once we get the sandblaster set up the way we need it and get all the humidity out of it, but, once you get it sandblasted and you hang paint, throw it in the oven, and you're done, it was just kind of a mundane, boring. I got here and we start playing with everything that we did and all the techniques and all the different ways that you taught me how to do this stuff. And, now you're having fun.
Yeah.
Now it opens it up to a whole world where, like you showed me with the cups and everything else, there's no limit.
No, there's not. Your limit's right here.
Like you said, the parameters that you have to stay in for this to work and to turn out like this. But after that, it's whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's anything you can come up with.
Exactly.
And finding you guys and somebody that has just taken this above and beyond to a level that didn't even realize existed, and a lot of people don't do. I mean, you're an artist. You are outside the box.
I appreciate it.
Every second you're out there, and this was one of the coolest experiences I've had. So
Nice. Well, we got a few questions here. From Chris. How do you do fades? Like if you're gonna do like multicam on the patterns. So we covered that. Like on our fades on this. Fine, let's find a good one on here because I know we have some.
halfway
like
down
right
the
in there.
stock
Yeah.
on the top there, where there was one spot back here where it was really orange that we
Yeah.
faded.
This is a little heavier, but when you're doing your fades, you want to do your base coat, tack your base coat out, and then all you're doing is just setting your gun back up and then just lightly going over it. You can go a little heavy and then just kind of lightly pull that out as you're going over. So, like if I was spraying right through here and this was all green, and then if you're spraying down, start your one stripe and then pull back a little further as you go, and that's going to just give you a lighter color, and that's just going to fade that out. So you can have a darker, so you'll have the true color of the tan, and then pull back out to where you're going to get just a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter, and that'll give you your fades. Like that's a nice one there, how that just kind of pulls from the green to the tan right through
That
there.
one worked out really good. And the cool thing is all the deer tracks, or chocolate chips you call them,
Yeah.
ended up right in the middle of the fade. That's the other thing is I've learned so much here, but don't. So George, the other guy that was here with me this week,
Yeah.
he was terrified of what John had him doing to his pistol and his AR.
Yeah.
He's like, John, I got to be honest, this looks hideous. I don't like it.
Yeah.
John's like, wait till the end. Just see it through. Wait till the end. He's like, I don't know, man. He says, this is freaking me. He says, my gun looks like crap. He says, I don't like it. When we started that 300, we did the base coat, and then it was just, all right, just do some random faded stripes. Don't stop. Don't make them look square. Follow them around. Just fade it. And you stand back and you look at this chocolate brown gun with these desert sand and gray and
Sniper gray.
Just strikes. It just looks like you slapped it with a reed or something out of the swamp. And you're like, I pay for it. You're just kind of standing there like, all right, dude, whatever. And then it turns into this.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged halfway through. It's like puppies and kids. They all hit an ugly phase.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'm 40 and I've hit my ugly phase and I'm probably going to stay there. But, don't get discouraged when you get halfway through it and you're just like, this looks nothing like what they're headed or what their end result was. None of them do.
No.
You can't get to here without that thing just looking like a total
train wreck.
Bomb.
Yeah.
And
we tell people, do not let your customers walk in halfway through your project.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be like, hey, man, I need my gun back.
Yeah. You're like, I can't afford it. I'm just going to take it home with, but seriously, don't get discouraged with how it looks or how you, like, I was so anal about my stickers, my decals. They had to be like, and Andrew come over and he's just like, dude, just slap them on. Don't worrying about.
Don't overthink them.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about, nature is not symmetrical.
Yep.
Nature is random, and so the less you think about it and the quicker you just slap them on there, the more random it's going to look.
You build a pattern in your mind. I noticed this working with you and doing this week, but you get a pattern in your mind of how you want the stencils to go. You start laying them that way every time.
Yeah.
Just slap them on, and every gun, you're never going to do the same gun twice, and that's the coolest thing about this.
Mm-hmm.
You can do, like I said, once you follow those parameters that get you to how the gun has got to be functional or whatever, and everything cure right and the coating to do its job.
You're tacking out, yeah.
After that, do what you want.
Yeah.
I got to where I was just like letting the fan throw the stickers wherever they landed because I was sick of fighting that sucker. And that's the coolest thing I've ever done, and that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
No, I think it turned out awesome.
When we got in here, I had pictures of, well, these are the ideas me and my wife had, but it's crap you can go to Cabela's or Bass Pro or Sportsman's Warehouse in Utah or, wherever, feed store, and see those Tikas and Howas hanging on the wall painted like that. 'Cause I want something that,
Something a little different.
I'll walk in there and
Yeah.
I don't see my gun
You ever
hanging
seen one of
anywhere.
these somewhere?
Nope.
No. I think that turned out awesome. I did one
I
like
did
that for a
phenomenal.
giveaway, and I did the traditional tattered flag where it was just the red, white, and blue, and then did the green and black over it. But
I want to eventually do that one.
and
Something
it,
like
and
close to that.
it looks so good.
That's a beautiful
Yeah,
gun.
and it's
Really
just
was.
fun to do. I mean, it's just something again. It's just that one extra step. I mean, technically, I'm spraying 2 patterns, but I'm just peeling my stencils off in between and
Right.
laying more stencils on top, and then creating another pattern on top of it.
Right. Plus, all you guys out there, if you're thinking about this class, you should do it. And one of your guns, bring your wife's gun, because I'm going home and I'm going to be a loved man when she sees that. So, yeah, yep. Bring your wife's gun and do something cool. Because no, it's. I mean, I had my wildest dreams. I didn't imagine being able to do something like this. So this has been cool.
Awesome Sauce asked, "How do you do color fill?" So there's actually like 3 different ways you could technically do color fill. If it's deep enough, you can spray your color that you want inside for your color fill. You can tack the gun out. Once it's tacked and cooled off, you can spray your next color over it. Just go kind of around, or sorry, you spray the color, not the color that you want. I had it backwards. You spray the color that you want your overall, like not in the color fill. Spray that, tack it out. Spray your next color that you want inside of your and then you can acetone battle wear all that off and just go back down to the first color if it's deep enough. Um, and that would just be for like a smaller area. I wouldn't do that on like a super large scale.
Yeah.
If if it's kind of smaller areas, you want to use the color fill pins, but you want to make sure you use the 2 or the 0.25. They come in packages. I think it's King Art or something like that.
I got the picture on my phone.
Yeah,
Can't
I
remember.
forget the exact name of the company, but if you get the 0.5, then it's just too thick and it's just going to drip out all over your project before you even trying to start drawing with
Remember
it.
you told me to throw that one out in the
Yeah,
garbage when you
it's
get the
not worth
package.
anything. But they come in the packages of 2, so you can't just buy the one.
That was phenomenal to watch you do that. That was unreal.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was an option.
It's quick and easy. I mean, it's not hard.
To watch you trace the writing in the gun, the serial number and all that with that pen,
Yeah.
and then clean it off, and it was like it came from the factory that way. It was
The next way you can do it is you can use the clay, and that's probably the most inefficient way to do it. It's going to take a lot longer.
time-consuming.
Yeah, it is a lot more time consuming, and that's how I started out doing it. I just I used the Sculpey modeling
Sculpted
clay. Yeah, just make sure that it's not any kind of oil base, and then you can just pack that in there. You spray the color you want inside, pack your clay in, make sure you wipe off all the excess clay. You cannot have any of that on the outside of the metal or
Yeah.
polymer, whatever it is. You have to get all that crap off, because if you don't, it's going to tack out and it's going to start flaking off where you have little pieces of clay or like
Flaking
little
out,
lumps. You got to make
bringing
sure
the
you
paint
get
with it.
yeah, you have to make sure you get all that stuff off. And then
You'll be 30 hours into a handguard, but
yeah,
no
I've
big deal.
got
That's what you said you
that
had. in that
handguard
one
I got
there.
out there. I've got that's probably close to 12 hours in that handguard at least.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun though. That handguard was a lot of fun.
Which is pretty good for as much clay as you had to pack into that sucker.
Oh man, it was
12 hours is pretty impressive, start to finish.
yeah. I mean, I can probably do it quicker now that I've done one.
Like a pound of clay in that bugger.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
But so I mean, our training I feel like is fairly well geared towards, what a shop is looking for. Out of, you came here, you're wanting to do guns. We showed you how to do guns. Next week we got some people showing up and all they want to spray is just some jewelry.
Right.
And so we're going to show them how to do jewelry next week. But
Well, that's the cool things. Like when we got here, and you're like, you guys told us we can spray anything but rubber. So
yeah,
Don't limit yourself.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's like I told people last week on here, uh, there's a huge untapped potential in this industry that
It's
people haven't
phenomenal.
got into yet. I mean, you could fully customize houses. You can do chandeliers. You
Right.
can do doorknobs. I mean, how cool would it be to do like a bunch of like burnt bronze battleware for like your doorknobs and like
Right.
your fixtures
Cover
and
plates,
all that stuff. I think
light
it'd look,
switch cover
I think it'd
plates,
look good,
outlets. Oh yeah.
you know. But
You could theme every room in your house if you wanted to.
yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
yep. There's a bunch of good ideas that people have, that, and everybody thinks different. We learn stuff from people that come to training every week.
Right.
It's not that we're always teaching. Sometimes, people teach us stuff, or they'll have a question that makes us think something that we're normally not thinking. And we're like, oh, yeah, why don't we try this? So, I mean, I didn't have this gun envisioned when you showed up. I mean, at all. I mean, for the most part, it was just kind of,
It's got bouncing off each other. And
yeah. I mean, it's definitely different.
that was a
It
blast.
looks good.
Yeah.
Everything we've done looks good.
The technique, that was something. So, and that's the best. I honestly, you won't learn the technique and how to get your gun started the right way and how to do a lot of the, mixing and what color goes next and what color, all the other stuff, your imagination, you can just find things that works whatever you want, I
Yeah.
mean, you can get the ball rolling here, but once you figured out the technique, once you figured out the distance, once you figured out how to spray and everything else, like I said, you get the basis of the parameters that you have to know and you have to be good at. You don't come here and the time and money, if you're serious, that's wasted. You know, it just it's just one of them things where it just separates the men from the boys, I guess. No offense to anybody, but seriously, if this is something that somebody's really wanting to do, find somebody like you guys that just has the phenomenal, grasp of it and experience behind it to get you started. I mean, the lessons learned here is just, it's priceless in the long run because of what it's going to afford us to do.
You don't have to waste the coding back home to try to figure out
Compared to
everything.
the time and money it would cost to figure all this out on your own. I mean, let's be honest here, the coatings are not cheap.
No.
This isn't
And if
for
you haven't signed up for I mean, and we tell everybody, even though you came to our training, you're not Cerakote certified
right.
from the factory, but we tell everybody go to the factory, get certified, because you get your discounts on your coating. You're gonna get free coating. I don't think it really does anything for you to say that you're factory certified. If you're applying this stuff right and you know what you're doing,
Right.
I don't think that a customer is going to be like, I don't want you spraying my gun because you're not factory certified.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's a big deal. But as far as the discounts and all that you get, it's totally worth it.
It is.
Because
Yeah,
it's going to pay for it. It might take 6-7 years for it to pay itself off, but you're going to end up paying it back once you get all your free coating and your discounts.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, even just the talks we've had on the whole business end of it, and some of the things that you need to do to make the business running more efficiently, and all just the little things that save you time and money, right down to Q-tips, for crying out loud. I mean, there's just a lot of things that you guys have worked out, so many kinks.
And that's stuff that you don't get at the Cerakote training.
No.
Through Cerakote.
No.
That's just, and people's asked us before, because there's a few shops from now that actually get you certified through Cerakote.
Yeah.
So you don't just have to go out to Oregon.
Right.
And they've asked us, do we plan on doing that? And we don't want to do that, because if we say that we're going to get people certified by Cerakote, then you have to follow these rules. This is the way you have to train people, and we don't want to do that. We like the way we have stuff set up. We feel like you get I'm not going to say way more out of it, but you get a lot out of it the way that we do it.
Well, just from the explanation and that you do. I mean, just because they're focused on the one thing.
Yeah.
Where you guys can
they're coding based.
Yeah, you guys can open it up to technique, methods, different ideas, business end of it, and how to make that easier and better, and
how to draw
and legal.
A bit of business.
Yeah, that was a big eye opener. Is a lot of the legal and on handling, people's firearms and stuff like that. You don't just paint somebody's gun, hand it back, and after being here, you're hoping for the best doing it that route. I mean, there's some things that
Yeah.
you need to do.
Yeah, there's some paperwork involved.
There is, and if you're gonna do it right, if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah, you don't want to have it come back on you and have
It's
ATF crawling up you.
well, that's the thing is if you follow the law and you do everything right, like my dad always said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
Right.
Fill out the paperwork, do it the way you're supposed to.
You got nothing to worry about.
Too much can go wrong. This has been a huge eye opener. This has been awesome. But yeah. I mean, just the technique and the know-how, the knowledge of applying the paint and just what you can and can't do is huge because like I said, I don't have the money to go through all that trial and error.
Yeah.
A lot of guys might do it. It's just like, oh crap, I'm just doing it after work. Who cares?
Just like the guy.
$60 a bottle and $15 to ship it. I do. I don't have that kind of money to, run myself that ragged.
Right.
And take that many months to get to that point when I can just come here, spend half that money, hang out with you guys, and just the friendships and the relationship and everything else that was forged.
I had a lot of fun.
Oh, I had a blast.
It was awesome.
I mean, Andy, it's the A-team squared. I mean,
exactly.
Couldn't get any better than that. But
the AA battery, we just kept going and going and going.
Boy, howdy.
It was a good time.
It was awesome.
But,
I definitely got more than my money's worth. I feel like it was.
And you and your wife are going to come back in a few months?
Oh, yeah. She's already.
You're jealous, isn't she?
She's already told her partner at the dental office that she's gone in 3 months. She's gone for. She's like, we'll just go out early. They're already sick of me. Don't threaten them with that. But no, she's awesome at it. All she needs is just that. All right, here's what you do here, and here's what you do there, and do this like this, and and she's not like me. I'll just like blank stare at you and drool for a minute until it finally clicks. Yeah. I mean, you've had 3 days of it, and she's like, yeah, okay, and she'll just go do it.
Right. I'll be honest with you. I mean,
I'll get over there and I'll be like, what did you say? How far? 4 fingers? I once I get it, I'm the guy that has to repeat it. I have to do it.
I'm the same way.
She just listens to you, looks at you, watches you do it, and then she grabs it, and she's awesome at it. And so that's why I want to bring her back is just because, we'll have 3 months, like John said, we'll have 3 months for me to
kind of brush her
try
up,
to teach her everything I forgot. Go home a blank. I just be like, well, what did you learn? I don't know. Just let me go to sleep.
Yeah.
But, and then 3 months we can come back and just.
Yeah, we'll brush her up on some stuff.
I mean,
you can be doing some like way more like difficult technique stuff, doing some like higher like more stenciling,
Yeah.
Maybe some kind of I don't know, like a snake skin or something, like something difficult that would be to like lay down.
Well, like you showed me, that one you showed me with that technique is just phenomenal. But I do want to say one thing. There's a lot of people out there that are gonna be like, "Yeah, I ain't paying that kind of money. What are they gonna teach me for that kind of money?" Get that crap out of your head. If that's your attitude, you might as well just use a rattle can and be done with the Cerakote and everything else. Get that crap out of your head because this is not a money scheme for you guys.
No, we don't really make a ton off of it because I can spray. I mean, really, if I was to shut down and not do training, I can spray myself about $1,500 worth of guns a day.
You got enough going. You didn't need this crap.
No, we don't have to do this.
You guys are literally doing this because
we want to
see the potential of this, and there are a lot of people out there that might as well be doing it right and saving money, saving time, and building their business, or at least saving themselves money and time. But yeah, if there's anybody out there that are just laughing and balking and saying that this is a way for Branson Cerakote to make a pile of money off stupid people, then just quit watching. Just hang up. Get that crap out of your head because it's bogus. It's bogus. It is, and I'm vomiting all this unforced. I was not coerced.
He was paid.
Yeah, I got my training for free because I sat up here and said all this. No, I'm not gonna lie. It'll be some of the if you're serious about this, if you're literally wanting to make this a business and you're seriously wanting to make this something rather than just doing your own guns. If you're just doing your own guns, then yeah, laugh at us, whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't blame you. But if you're seriously wanting to make something of this, you got to come here and you got to do this. It's literally it will change your whole outlook. It will change everything. And it will teach you trust me, it will teach you who to get away from, who to steer towards, who to and how to
Teach you not to use Facebook for
oh
where you
buddy.
need to go and ask
Yeah,
questions.
well, and yeah, oh man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, get away from Facebook. That's like going to the hair salon, listening to all the old biddies sit and cackle about each other and yeah, get off Facebook. That's a show right there, but really, it is.
Well, I
It's
mean, now we have our applicator hangout. You just join that. I mean, not to try to like push us or whatnot, but I mean, that's a great spot because I mean, there's a bunch of people on there that are knowledgeable, and everybody on there is going to be able to help each
right.
other out. You don't have to worry about people getting on there and commenting, you should do it this way when really you probably shouldn't do it that way.
Well, honestly, for what I paid and for what you pay for the applicator hangout, if people really want to know, call in and ask you guys, because when you find out what you're getting back as far as the knowledge and the help from everyone else that's in the hangout, but coming to this class, I mean, I ordered my colors and I didn't use a damn color that I ordered. we, and I'm taking my colors home with me. You're like, yeah, be careful of that one. I don't know why you ordered that one, but watch out for that one. And then we ended up having a blast and doing stuff that we didn't even think we would
Yeah,
or wasn't even planned on. And you guys are like, nah, go ahead, just heck, run with it.
have fun with it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. If you can't have fun doing it, then there's no point of doing it, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
It was not like this college campus class where it was like, come in, sit down, shut up.
Yeah.
We're going to cram this down your throat. You're going to pay us, and then you're going to go home and don't care. Don't contact us. You
Don't
got
call me.
what. I mean, this has been phenomenal.
Oh.
It really has. And the helpline that is available after you leave is just as cool and just as helpful and just as readily available as being here yourself,
Yeah,
being here in person.
You have me or John in your back pocket at any given moment.
And that right there is not a money scheme.
No.
To have the ability to, just like, hey, just call us. You guys are glutton for punishment if you start opening that up to a lot of people, but and you do it.
Yeah. Well,
That's the thing is you follow through. I don't know how many times both of you are on phone calls with people that have been here previously.
Yeah.
And it's and you still had time to hold my hand while I drooled. So, it was awesome. It's not at all anything close to a money scheme or a way to just soak people. I mean, you guys are giving out way more than you're, and it's awesome. It's unreal.
We appreciate it.
To have that kind of lifeline and that kind of help. So. I scared him off. I talk too much.
No, it's all right. Give me 1 second, guys. My chat went away, and I'm trying to pull it back up. I'm excited for you and your wife to come back. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a blast. It'll be good.
Yep. Like
So.
even we told you guys about KM Tactical,
Yeah.
Get all your 80% and just start doing chassis, We're not going to, somebody might not be your third or fourth customer, but if you got, you might not even have customers yet,
Yeah.
But if you do 10 or 15 different guns and get pictures of those up,
Yeah.
now you got a gallery, so it looks like you've had, 15, 20 customers or whatever.
Well, and John said it best, he says, I might not be your third or fourth, but I might be your 34th.
Exactly.
And that's, someone's got to sooner or later be the first to the 10th.
Yeah.
And eventually they're just going to fall, it'll all fall together.
It will.
But having the know-how, the experience, and the way to approach it, the knowledge to approach it in a way that you can get to that point, why waste your time? You know, the way I was going till we found you guys.
Yeah.
You know, literally that was a wreck. You know, I told Jamie and my wife, I says, give up. We got to throw in the towel. We are spending way too much money, way too much time. You know, and it's not. Shoot, we got a hold of you guys, and it started to level
out.
off to where, you know, we're like, holy crap.
We can do this.
Now we start looking at getting this and getting this and getting set up with this and upgrading to this.
All new equipment that you've seen that
Holy crap, man. I'll tell you what, don't do this without an air dryer, man. I've been fighting that flipping compressor and that sandblaster with no air dryer, no metering valve. But I'll tell you what, you get it set up right. And like I said,
people
you have
get
fun.
spoiled.
You have fun. Yeah, I told my wife, I don't want to come home.
Yep. That's usually what happens. People come here and they say they don't want to come back home.
Yep.
Do you have to have a special oven to start out Cerakoting? No, you don't want to use an oven that's already had food cooked in it. That's about the only thing. I mean, people build them out of smokers. We use toaster ovens for like small pieces.
Yep.
You just make sure that it hasn't had any food in it, because if it has grease in it, that could mess up your coating.
Screw it up in a hurry.
Yeah, just make sure you can regulate that temp.
Just get a brand new $90 toaster oven.
Yeah, you just want to make sure it has the convection on it, so
Yep.
you have the air flowing.
The
The
fan.
airflow the fan is very important. If you don't have that fan in there, you're going to create heat spots, and then with those heat spots, it could darken your project if you have it in there.
Yep.
And so it might not match the colors.
We started out with a smoker.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
And you upgrade it with a fan. We hung the action and had a brain fart. Anyway, the bottom part of the shotgun we hung in there to bake. And I had a guy that wanted a Batman and Joker green and purple shotgun. And we hung that purple in there, and it browned the bottom end because you didn't have the fan circulating.
Yep.
But smokers work great. You just can't. You got to get it to temp. So you got to turn it on, play with the temp till you get it where you want it.
Yep.
And then you can go to town, you know, but you get that fan and it's great. You just have that little bit of time lag where you got to get it to temp.
What we normally do is, like, we come in the morning. First thing I do in the morning on a normal day, I don't have training. I get my worksheet. You know, I go through it all. I figure out, okay, I'm going to work on these 2 or 3 projects, get all my coding out, turn all my equipment on, get my fans or my ovens on,
Right.
fans on, everything, compressor. That way everything's it's already warming up. I can just start spraying and tacking out. But we have the 2 ovens, and so, I mean, we're kind of spoiled here a little bit. So I can tack out as I'm going and then bake my product when it's done.
Well, you know, and if people are just starting out with smaller projects, you know, I bit off more than I could chew because I seriously thought the shotgun, I thought that was stupid thinking these were going to fit. But, you know, littler stuff, you can get 2 of them smokers going.
Yeah.
And you're half the power and everything. You know, start small if you have to. But, you know, do what you can to get to that point as fast as you can, because the ease, the convenience, the time saver, the money saver, the money saver.
Because if somebody came to you right now and said, hey, man, I got this Barrett I want you to coat, what are you going to do?
I built a campfire because I would not want to pass that thing up. But seriously, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, kitchen ovens are so flippin' finicky.
Well, you wouldn't be able to fit a Barrett in a kitchen oven either.
Well, yeah, you can't fit anything in the kitchen. I mean, that smoker is more convenient to fit than our kitchen oven. But like you said, with the grease, the oils, everything that's been in there anyway, but they're not consistent.
Yeah. The only thing I would say with that, because if you got one that does convection, you could maybe do like scopes or something in it if you can could go down to 150.
But without the ventilation and the air flowing around and keeping that circulated and even, kitchen ovens are horrible. In my mind,
some of them have a
opinion.
Convection on them,
right?
Where it'll still move.
Right.
But if it doesn't have that,
if it don't have the convection, don't do it.
No.
I don't care if you went out and take it back.
Yeah,
because it doesn't work.
Yep. There's tons of videos online where people build their own ovens, and you can watch those and build your own. You know, it just takes a little bit of know-how, and
you know, and I've got probably the most hillbilly paint booth you'll ever see in your life. But that
It works though,
sucker
doesn't it?
works awesome.
There you go.
You know, we just stuck a box fan in the window, cut a hole in a moving blanket, hung it, and then hung the moving blankets around us with a LED strip light above us. And we paint about 4 feet, 3 feet from the fan,
Suck it all out the window.
and it does. And then I took and drilled holes in a square Tupperware that fit over where the motor and the fan sits. Zip tied that sucker to the cage of the box fan, and no paint gets over the motor and in the windings or anything else. It just sucks it right out the window. And you do what you have to do to start out to get going.
Yeah. We
And
tell
it-
everybody like
and
it's
I
a necessity, or it's not a necessity. The spray booths, you know, you can get
Oh,
get
buddy.
by with them.
Well, and
without 'em.
I'll tell you what, if you can get good enough to do stuff like this in that kind of situation, oh, you're going to be phenomenal. And when you get in something like you guys got, I mean, there's no stopping you then.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, I just have a few upgrades I got to do. I've got to get the metering valves, the air dryer, get the foot pedal and the pressure valve on the sandblaster. There's just so many things that save you time and money.
Oh yeah, that metering valve and the new pedal makes a world of difference on these
That
sandblasters.
thing's going to be a godsend, you know, and but you don't have to be this level
No.
to get rolling. You just got to be ingenuitive, willing to
Think
willing
outside
to
the box a
fab
little
your
bit.
own stuff, and don't, you know, I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I don't let anybody come down and see my deal yet, but you know, don't be afraid to be hillbilly.
Yeah.
Cuz I'm going to go home and crank some of this stuff out.
Absolutely.
I think, if I can remember how we did it, but you know, I mean, it's you do what you have to do if you're serious about it.
No, I think you'll be just fine.
But
Whenever you get project done, just make sure you send some pictures so we can see what
Right.
you got.
get the training, get the know-how, and get somebody like you guys to show you how to get the kinks worked out, do the color fill, do the fading. I mean, I learned, holy crap, probably 15 techniques in 3 days I didn't even know exist. Like I said, I came here and I thought you just had to color in the lines and two-tone. You know, I've got a couple of ugly guns out there. Give them back. But you know, but I mean, it's worth it. It's awesome. You
Awesome.
can't do this. I don't want to go home and do it without it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I couldn't wait to get here. Didn't know what I was going to get, but I couldn't wait to get here. And now that I've been here, I don't know how I got anything done before this. You know, it was just like I said, the techniques is priceless in my eye. But there again, I want to make something. I want to be like you guys someday. So if people are just wanting to putt around and you know, fiddle fart around with it and not really just doing their own thing, then maybe this is too much.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're serious about this and you want to go somewhere with this, get your butt out here and make this happen, because yeah, it's gonna push it over the edge and take it places I didn't ever think I could.
That's awesome. That's what we like to hear. So you're also gonna go do some training. Is it Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down back into Arkansas for Tuesday, Wednesday, with Liquid Concepts.
Go do some
And
hydro dipping.
do some hydro dipping. Just, you know, like when we sat down and talked about this, me and my wife, we just decided if we're gonna do it, find, you know, I mean, I don't want to offend anyone else that thinks they're the best or thinks that they've got something up, but you know, you guys and Liquid Concepts, I mean, have just, you know, really impressed me. And I just decided there's a lot of potential with hydro dipping where I'm from, where I'm at, you know, and there's not a lot of people that do either one out there. A lot of people that do it in their garage. And but you know, and so we just called him up and he's like, "Yeah, get out here. You're already out here. Just drop back down through on your way back to the airport and hang out for a couple days." So I'm gonna, just because if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it right.
right?
I'm gonna spend the money to get into it. I would like to know that my investments were worthwhile and I know how to use them to their full potential. It just seems silly otherwise.
Correct.
So
If you don't
here
mind
we
me
are.
asking, how much is that class?
Say he was one-on-one. Wife's probably gonna be mad at me. I think it was 1,200
Not bad.
for 2 days, and he's seems like a cool guy. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
I will say this to anybody Cerakoting. Somebody comes to you and wants you to sandblast some hydro dip and redo the gun. You either make sure that they pay you well, or you just tell them, nah, don't have time. Because I sandblasted some hydro dip.
It takes forever.
Holy shoot me in the head. That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was without a doubt one of the longest, most agonizing 2 days in a sandblast cabinet of my life.
It don't even though we have the metering valve and everything else in there, it still takes forever.
Buddy, it wasn't even clear coated.
Oh, really?
No,
Oh,
no.
man.
And that stuff was,
It was on there.
oh, it
wasn't
was an act of God in Congress getting that stuff off. I'll tell you what, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah.
Nope. I
don't
told
blame you.
my wife's like, what if you screw up my shotgun? I'm going to buy you a new one.
Yeah.
And that one will stay like it is. It'll just look like somebody dropped it out of a pickup truck and we picked it up on the highway because I am not sandblasting that stuff off.
It sits in the back of the gun closet.
Nope. Yeah, it was brutal. It's rough, so gear up. But yeah, the hydro dip's cool. I'm not going to embrace both of them. This is going to be my big thing, and I'm going to take the techniques and everything that he has and he is a smart dude, but I'm going to take everything that he teaches me and gear it towards a couple of the little avenues that I'm going to use it with, and just kind of limit myself there.
I mean, we always tell people, if somebody comes to you and they want real tree camo,
Hydro dip it.
you're the guy, or gonna be the guy. We don't. Yeah, because you just cannot do a real tree camo.
Well, I'll just tell them, if you don't like it, buy a new gun, and I'll redo it. Because I don't know how you're getting it all off. Because that's, like I said, you clear coat that with automotive or marine enamel. Clear coat. So
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what it would have been like to sandblast that. I'd have been out there with a flipping jackhammer getting through the clear coat just to sandblast the hydro dip, but I don't even want to know what sandblasting clear coat off would be like.
Oh yeah, it's on there. It takes a while.
That hydro dip
and
by itself.
we always
was
tell
gnarly.
people, you gotta factor that into your time, because I mean, it's not just coating a gun at that point. Like if somebody brings you a gun and they've spray painted it,
Yeah.
I don't want that spray paint in my sandblast cabinet.
Right.
So, we're charging an extra $45 or so to citrus strip that, and then after we citrus strip it, we're gonna just rinse it off, scrub most of that off of there, and then we'll sandblast it. But that's time. Time is money in this industry,
Well, you've heard of that airplane stripper?
Yeah.
I wonder what that would do to composite gun stocks and pumps. I
don't know. I would
mean,
do something.
I know
that you don't-
people strip paint off of Hot Wheels and little cars and metal cars, but that's metal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would do it on something that you don't really care about too
Yeah,
much
like
first.
get one of these hand grips out here we were talking about first, and try to
a
strip.
$2 pistol grip.
Yeah, yeah, buddy. I'll tell you what, but I don't know, but like you said, you don't want to run that crap through your sandblaster.
No, because it just clogs it all up. And
Well, and then it's like basically forgetting to degrease and bake a lower.
Yeah.
You go in and sandblast all that oil and everything into your sand, and now you got to swap it out because there's no way you want to run that through on another gun somewhere.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to this. There really is, to do it right, to do it efficient, to do it effective.
But it's not hard.
No, it's
really
not. It's not. But
it's just the know-how on what
yeah,
you're doing.
don't listen to all these people that tell you that this stuff isn't important and that this stuff isn't gonna save you time and money in the long run, because they're the ones that don't know what they're talking about, not you guys.
Correct.
It's they're overkill, they're too much, they're too this, they're too that. No, you're not. You are literally saving people time and money with everything. Technique, the know-how, how to set up your equipment, what to do and not to do, right down to what to send through your sandblaster and what not to. You know, that's huge. And most people would just be like, sandblaster, who cares? Now that I've stripped hydro dip, I do. You know, but that stuff's on there. You
That's
know,
awesome.
I didn't even dip it.
You didn't dip that one?
No, my buddy's like, yeah, I had this paint and the primer and the accelerant and everything sitting around. It was like 3 years in a box. I shouldn't have took it. Anyway, he's like, yeah, and I dipped it and it just did this, and this.
So did
Well,
you
then-
eventually get it all off
well,
and then recoat it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I re-dipped it, but I got watching Liquid Concepts. I'm like, wow. There was like, let's say there's 5 steps. There's not. There's more than that. But let's say there's 5 steps. I think 1.5 were executed. And I was with him when he did it. I was like, I've never done this before. I'm gonna go learn how. But I says, I really don't think that what we're doing right now is right, because we had dirty hands. We'd been cleaning. I was helping him clean guns and that, and we just walk over and grab this part he'd primered it. He's like, water's got to be warm, and then you just got to float this paper in there and then dip it. Yep. Nope. I mean,
I have no idea. I don't know.
that's the
nothing
caveman
about
method. I mean, he covered all the bases, but you know, you've got to strip it, you got to clean it, you got to paint it, let that dry,
then dip it.
and then you lay the paper in the water. And if certain papers are different, but if it doesn't lay in there for 60 seconds, too short, it's going to screw it up. Too long will screw it up. Spray the accelerant over there, and if it doesn't look like glass, like ours looked like a deflated balloon. And I'm like, I don't think those ripples and wrinkles are right. He's like, oh, they'll iron out. No, they didn't. No, it went on like a deflated balloon. It come off like concrete. But yeah, you know, it's got to look like glass. And then you roll it in there, and then you rinse it, and then you clear coat it. Yeah, so we covered like 1.5 of the 6 or 7 bases. So I mean, the theory was sound.
Right?
We got the warm water. That matters. But
It was the
you know,
redneck method.
oh, buddy, that was about as hillbilly as it got right there.
I've done some of that, like at my house, with just like spray paint in a bucket,
Yeah,
like dipping deer skulls and stuff.
yeah.
But that's as far as I ever got.
Well, and
with
there's
it.
a lot of different, like nail polish.
Yeah,
You
I've
just
seen that.
swirl that crap in there,
Yep, I've seen that.
and then just before it starts to separate or sink, you get in there and,
Get it on.
but not the methods that you see Liquid Concepts and the professionals. So yeah, it was a little rough.
Yeah,
But
I imagine they know what they're doing.
I will never sandblast that off again.
Got one more question here. It says, do you see any problem using an airbrush with a 8.0 valve for H series? I forget which size my needle is. The 0.8 I feel like would be fine. Airbrushes are kind of finicky when it comes to the Cerakote, because if it's too small, you have to feed more pressure through it, because it
Get it
says
to
you have
come
to
out.
spray it at 20 psi. Well, I can't even get my coating to come out at 20 psi through my airbrush. So my
Yeah, but
airbrush
dial
is at
yours
like,
to like 40.
yeah. I mean, it says 50, but when I hit my air on my regulator, it drops down to 40.
Comes out 40.
And then it comes out. But we just buy cheap Harbor Freight guns for our airbrush. Like, I don't spend the money on the I think it's called the Iwata Eclipse is
Yeah.
the name of it. I mean, they're nice, but the Harbor Freight gun does just as good. And if that thing starts to go to crap, I buy the warranty. It costs me $5, and I
$5. You
take
go
it
back
back.
and get
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah, and if it goes bad within 90 days, I take it back, and I don't even pay for a new one. They just give it to me.
The
So
beauty
I
of
don't even
Harbor
have to-
Freight.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of a good, sweet deal. I mean, and we do the same thing with our clear coat guns, because you don't want to spray the clear coat through
Well,
any
that's
of your
yeah,
Iwatas.
that was another huge eye opener. Is just the money you'd save on these guns are going to get the crap beat out of them with clear coat and some of the other things. just buy these cheap ones. They're going to work great because you're not going to be clear coating as often as you are painting. So if you spend the money for the gun that's going to do all of this, and then you get that gun where, once a day you're going to run clear coat through it. And they do. They take a lot better beat Iwatas than the Pashas do.
Oh yeah, because I know that I can take that back. I don't break down that airbrush and clean it out all the way. I just run acetone through it till it comes out clean, and then once it's clogged up, I just take it back and get a brand new one.
Good luck with that luxury at Cerakote with a $258 Iwata.
Yeah, they probably won't give you that new one.
Screwed this one up. Can I swap it out?
But like if you were gonna use an airbrush, you don't want to base coat everything with an airbrush. It's only for your accent colors, because if you're trying to do a base coat, you're going to have a little thin line, and it's going to be a pain to try to get an even coat on that.
Oh, buddy.
So you would never, don't ever try to use an airbrush for a base coat.
You'd be a week on a rifle stock like that.
Yeah, you'll probably, more than likely, I guarantee you'll have little lines of light spots coming through there that you'll see.
Yeah.
So you want that wide fan when you're trying to do your base coats.
That thing is phenomenal, though. Watching you do accents and trace stencils and that with that thing, that was cool.
Yep.
That's definitely worth having. But
well, Andrew, it's been a great class. I really enjoyed it.
I had a blast, buddy.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I can't wait for you to come back with your wife here in a couple months.
Yeah, it'll be good.
But I think that's about it.
Good
we got
experience.
a few more stuff that we got to wrap up back here.
Yes,
kinda
sir.
Get ready. And so just to let everybody know, we kind of changed the name of the podcast just a little bit. We're still Tacked Out Podcast, but we're now going to be known as Cerakote Tacked Out Podcast. So that way it just kind of helps people know that this is about Cerakote or whatnot, because Tacked Out Podcast, people they might not know that it's Cerakote involved or whatnot, so we just added the Cerakote in there. Yeah, so we're just kind of letting people know. Figured it might help out a little bit, so. But that's about it for today. So if anybody has any questions, just let us know, and we'll be glad to help you guys out. Come check us out on YouTube. If you're around, we're doing open house next week. We're giving away a Glock. So if you're going to be in Branson and you have nothing to do next Friday, come and see us from 2 to 5, and we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to have stuff every 15, 20 minutes or something like that, and then we're going to give away a Glock at the end of the day. So who wouldn't want a free gun?
Right?
Yeah. It's going to look sweet. I'm going to do a 7-color camo on it. We're going to do we're known for our table rock, which is that pattern back there. Yep. So it'll look nice.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
If you can swing it, get your class scheduled. Can't, save up. Save up. Because if you're serious about making this happen, and yeah, you need to do this. My opinion.
All right. Well, thanks, Andrew.
You bet. Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.